Excuse the terrible lighting and sound in this room right now, but I've moved out of this tiny little bedroom in my house into a larger studio space. So today, I just want to walk you through there, show you what I have set up and some of the ideas that I have for the future, and maybe get some ideas from you guys as well. Plus, today I'm using a brand new microphone from Rode. Thank you to Rode for sending it to me. It's the VideoMic NTG, the kind of first crossover microphone between their VideoMic and their Pro NTG line, which is a really interesting microphone. So today you can hear some sound examples from that in this terrible room. We'll go outside and talk for a bit, and as I'm showing you through my new studio. So let's get into it. So this is where I've moved into, and it's actually a kura. It's like an old Japanese style storage house basically, and it's on the same property as my house. It's really convenient, but it has a lot more space. It's got 2 floors and I can use both of them. So I've separated my YouTube space and my kind of other workspace to do little product shoots and things like that. More of a customizable space and a little bit of storage, but we're gonna go in here and check this out. I'm gonna turn the microphone around on my camera facing back so I can show you stuff and talk to the microphone at the same time. Here we go. So right here is the main entrance area, and right off the side we have this little storage room. There's just a bunch of random stuff in here right now. We'll probably clear out some of this stuff and I'll use this as storage too. We've got a bathroom, and then we've got the main entrance. So let's get into the studio here. This is my first floor studio space here, where I'm going to use for more, product shoots, corporate shoots, stuff that doesn't require a whole lot of space, but I can set up a nice big table right here. I'm thinking of hanging some seamless paper, or at least some poles, so I can hang seamless paper or something down from there, so that way I can have the table there and I can have some seamless paper or diffusion or whatever hanging behind it, and then I can shoot like this, or I can also set up right here, right across here, some stuff with 9-dot solutions parts to rig up a overhead camera that's like really solid. So I can even use the Zcam E2 F6 or E2 up here, and that's going to work out I think really nicely just right across the center here. And I can even put lights there, and I can put a light there coming from above, or I can put a light here or something. I can have a lot of flexibility in how I do that. And just I want to build a table, I think, that can fold up so that way I can move it out of the way, and also that has changeable tops, so I can build different tops with white wood, like worn out vintage looking wood, or darker wood, or whatever, tile even if I want to, and I can switch out those tops, just take them off and use a different texture, a different pattern really easily. I think that'd be a really great way to take advantage of this space here that I can shoot from overhead, or from this way of course, lighting stuff in some different ways very easily. Over here I've got my messy table area with a bunch of stuff that still needs to be organized. I have empty bags under there. I've got a bunch of lights and stuff in there that I'm gonna have to do something with all of this. And back there I have my cameras and stuff. This is my Zcam E2 F6. I'm using B-Bob batteries, the V micro batteries on here. They fit really well in line with the body. Of course, the clutch handle. I'm using an OC 7-inch high bright monitor on here. All of this works really nicely, powered by the single battery. Over here we've got the original E2, and this is just a small rig handle, and I've got the Portkeys BM5 on here, and this is on the Micro 2 slider. I think it's the Zeppin Micro 2 slider. Really nice slider, my favorite. It's small, but it's really nice and pleasant to use. This is my other favorite monitor. This is the OC 21.5 inch, again a high bright monitor. That's really great when you're doing shoots with multiple people. Or if you're outside, of course, where you need to see a lot. It's really useful. People love having this on set so they can see what's going on without having to all crowd around a small monitor. And down here I've got my Hollyland Cosmo 600, which I'm gonna hook up to this monitor. And I'm waiting for a little cheese plate on the back of this so I can just very easily put the wireless receiver on there. That should come soon. I've got a big box of tennis balls so that way I can put them on the bottom here, because this floor is kind of soft. It's not real wood, so I'm going to do that so I don't damage the floors too much with these stands, but I got to cut them up so I can put them on the bottom of there. That's going to take forever. As you saw, this part here is wide open, and up there on the second floor is where my YouTube space will be. So let's go up there, take a look from the top. So this is what I've got right now. Again, it's still a little bit cluttered, a little bit messy. Still getting things set up perfectly how I want it. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. It's probably not going to be perfect for a long time or ever, who knows. But I put up some sound blankets for a couple of different purposes. One is just because I didn't like the way that back wall looked on camera, and I couldn't really find any good way to do anything interesting with it. So I just put up sound blankets, and it's going to, of course, absorb sound, but also give me just a nice, solid, simple black background to work with, and I can whatever, do something with that later. But got one back there hanging, and behind there I have some shelves one up against the wall and one on the floor as a kind of carpet as well. I decided to hang my Aperture 120D and Light Dome Mark II from the ceiling just so that way I don't have any stands to deal with here. And as you can see, I've got the cable hanging down right here for the control box, but what I want to do is get a longer cable so that way I can go all the way down here with that cable and just hang the control box on the wall and then run the wire to the outlet, which is over there behind everything. But I'm just waiting to get a longer cable for that. This is the main camera that I've been using to record my YouTube videos. It's the EOS R with the 24mm f1.4 lens on there and the Atomos Ninja V, all powered from this Bebop battery plate and the blue shape granite mini battery on the back here. I use the Terrace TSN6 tripod here, and I know that this whole setup is way too much. It's overkill for this here. I don't need the shoulder rig at all, but I had it on here and it just worked out really nicely to get some rods back here for this, and I can keep a Manfrotto plate on the camera and it will slide right into here. And I don't know, it just worked out well, so I just left it there, and that's what I've been using. Now, this is something that I really like up here. I've rigged up a Sunwell flex light to just Velcro onto that pole up there, and I reinforced it with some cables there just to make sure that nothing happens, it doesn't fall when I'm not here. And I also put the skirt, I think it's from the Aperture Space Light, on there just to make sure that it doesn't hit me too much when I'm sitting right here under it. But that's going to be a light for my overhead shot on this table right here. And I also used an impact plate with a baby pin on there. And this part right here is actually from Digital Juice. I think it was originally meant to hold a slider like on top of a C-stand, but it works really well for mounting my camera right there, straight down overhead on the table. And it's really, really solid. So I have the overhead light, overhead camera, and the table right here. And I have my Shure SM7B microphone, which I can just swing around and talk to like that when I want to do stuff on top of the table. And when I'm talking to the camera, I use this right now. I have the Deity S-Mic 2S. This is the short version of the S-Mic 2 on here, just as my 2 camera microphone, so that way I can face both ways and not have to worry about moving the microphone or moving anything else. And they sound pretty good together, I think. I haven't done a whole lot of testing in here yet in terms of sound quality, and you know, it's just a wood ceiling. It's not flat, but it's pretty bare, so it's not going to be perfect for sound, but you know, maybe this is enough. We'll see. I'll work on it. It's not perfect. It's not finished yet, but this is what I'm working with. Finally, down here on the bottom of this table, this is one more thing that I have to rig up a little bit more securely, but I just put this on the leg of my table. It's the Vibesta little circular LED here. This is an RGB light, so I can shine a little bit onto this back here just to give it a little bit of color, so that way it's not just pure darkness that's falling into behind me. Just give it a little accent back there. So that too, maybe I'll work with a little bit. I got to organize this shelf quite a lot. But then up here, like I said, I've got a lot of storage space. You can walk around here. I've got some tripods. I've got some camera bags over there. I've got empty softbox cases and stuff like that over there. Got to organize this all more. I've got my shelves back here behind this blanket that are still fairly empty, or you know, full of tools that I'm using to just get this stuff all set up here. So I'm getting out of breath here. I'm not really great at doing this kind of video, but let's turn all of these lights on and everything, and I'll sit here and just show you exactly how it looks in this new setup. This is more or less what it's going to look like. Again, I might do something more with the back, I don't know. I might adjust some things here and there. I don't know, but you know, this is basically what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to sound like. Of course, now I'm not using the Rode VideoMic NTG. I'm using the Deity S-Mic 2S. But if I put this in about the same position as my boom mic is right now, that Deity mic, then this is pretty much what it would sound like in this position, in this environment, as a boom mic. And of course, it's a 3.5mm jack. It's not an XLR, so you would need an extension cable or some kind of small recorder that you can rig up on your boom pole to just take that and record it straight to the recorder. But anyway, in this general position, this is pretty much what it would sound like. So now just to show you the overhead view, we're gonna go ahead and rig this camera up to that spot where I showed you just before, and we'll take a look at, I don't know, the Rode mic. So if I was doing something overhead here, I can work with it on the table. I could even, you know, show this closer up because of course Canon has really, really great autofocus, and that will follow that no problem. And I could zoom out. This is the close view. I'm on a 16 to 35 lens right now. If I zoom out to 16, this is in 4K, of course. This is the full view that I'm getting, so you can see kind of a scale there in relation to my hands, I guess. But again, if I want to put that aside and talk more specifically about something smaller, just zoom into 35, bada bing, bada boom, I'm ready to go. So then if I want to turn around and talk to the main camera, I can do that, and everything's still right here, it's running. I still have this microphone right here, and looking now, I'm kind of cutting my head off. I gotta sit up, gotta slump a little bit. I'm sitting up too straight. But you know, I can go back and forth here. I can work with this, and then I can talk to the Shure microphone. I can go back here, and I can talk to you on the camera. And I think it's gonna be a really, really easy way to do this. Of course, I don't have the table in front of me, but I didn't like the reflections that I was getting from my voice off of the table, to be honest with you. I think that was causing a lot of problems for me. And you know, I think I want to have a more dedicated camera. When I'm talking, I'm talking. When I'm doing something on the table, I'm doing something on the table. I think it's just going to work out better for me and my workflow. But this is the setup I have. If you want to see more about something specific here, just let me know. If you have any ideas about anything that I could do to make this work a little bit better, to organize it a little bit better, let me know that as well. And of course, if you want to see more about the Rode microphone, I will have more coming on this very, very soon. So make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you hit the little bell icon to get notifications when those new videos are uploaded. And as always, thank you for watching.